Good afternoon and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the World Baseball Classic. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the game between Samurai Japan and Chinese Taipei from the Tokyo Dome in Japan. And it is the fourth game of this pool. The first three games, two went off yesterday as the Australians knocked off Chinese Taipei 3-0 in the opener. It was the Koreans who took care of the Czechia nation as the Czechs were beaten 11-4 in the evening affair. Earlier today, the Australians have extended their run of play as they are now 2-0. They beat Czechia 5-1, and they have the big boys set up as they've got to play Korea or Japan, but they've got themselves in a position where one win in their next two games could potentially push them through into a quarterfinal position back in the United States. Well, first of all, we're going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors tonight, and the visitors this evening will be Samurai Japan. Leading off and doing the designated hitting is number 16, Shohei Ohtani. Batting second in right field is number 8, Kensuke Kondo. Hitting third and center field is number 51, Seiya Suzuki. In the cleanup spot and in left field tonight is number 34, Masataka Yoshida. Batting fifth at third base is number 25, Kaz Okamoto. Hitting in the sixth spot and playing first base is number 55, Minetaka Murakami. Batting seventh at second base is number 2, Shugo Maki. Hitting eighth at shortstop is number 6, Kensuke Kondo. And batting ninth and doing the catching will be number 4, Kenya Wakatsuki. And they're going to be facing, for Chinese Taipei tonight, it is going to be Hao Chun-chen as he takes to the hill, as he will be making his first appearance of the tournament. Now your starting lineup for the home team this evening, and that will be Chinese Taipei. Even though the game is in Japan, they are the home team in this one. Leading off tonight and playing at second base is number 39, Sung-Chi Cheng. Batting second in center field is number 17, Stuart Fairchild. Hitting third in right field is number 77, Anko Lin. And the cleanup spot at third base is number 18, Yu Chang. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 4, Kung Kwan Giljeglaja. Batting in the sixth spot is the first baseman, number 39, Ninting Wu. Hitting seventh is the shortstop, number 90, Kun Yu Chang. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 27, Lyle Lin. And batting ninth in left field tonight is number 98, Chu Wei Chen. And they will be facing Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the star of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and of course of the World Series last year, where he had come in relief to pick up the victory in that seventh game after pitching in game 6 a couple of days or the day before. Well, those are your starting lineups. What do we expect tonight? Well, I expect tonight potentially much of the same. Chinese Taipei, we saw the signals in the exhibition run-ups to the tournament is that they struggled to hit the ball. They only had 3 hits in their opening game. Lin, Yu Chang, and Giljeglaja all had hits. And the unfortunate part is one of the other big parts of their lineup, Chi Xian Chen, is out for this game. He got hit by a pitch in the top hand. He's a left-handed stick. It was his left hand where he got hit. He's not in the lineup tonight, and there's no word if he is going to return for the tournament as of yet. So that is where Chinese Taipei is. They're going to have to get good pitching. They're going to have to play good defense, and they're going to have to nickel and dime it against the Japanese tonight if they're going to get a win. On the flip side of the coin, for Samurai Japan, they are built for power. They don't have a lot of speed in the starting lineup. And on top of that, they are what I would call hamstrung in terms of their defense. Their outfield defense with Yoshida, Kondo, and Suzuki is not exactly a gold glove, so they're going to have to hit their way out of trouble. But I would think against a team like Chinese Taipei, they should be able to manage that without any difficulty. But you have to play the game, and that's what we're doing, and that is why we're here tonight. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. It is Yamamoto versus Chen, Chinese Taipei and Japan in just a couple moments. Stick around, everybody. We're glad to have you with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel.
You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I really want
It is Japan and Chinese Taipei. We're just a few minutes away from the first pitch of the ball game. There will be more action starting tomorrow in the World Baseball Classic as the games will start to get going in the North American bracket. And for those of you who are looking at what games will be played and when they'll be played, at 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, which is going to be at 8 a.m. Pacific, it'll be Cuba and Panama will take to the field. At noon, high noon, it'll be the Netherlands and Venezuela. Those games will go off as that'll be the first game of their pool. Mexico and Great Britain go off at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then the evening games, the Mexicans and Great Britain play, as we said, at 1 o'clock. It'll be Puerto Rico and Colombia. They go off at 6 o'clock p.m. 7 o'clock p.m. will be Nicaragua and the Dominican. At 8 o'clock, it's going to be USA and Brazil. And then back to the Asian pool at 10 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. Pacific. It'll be Chinese Taipei and the Czech Republic. We will be on the call for the late games. Not sure if we're going to be able to squeeze anything in the daytime. We'll see what we can do. But certainly those are the lineups, and that's what it's looking like for tomorrow's action. It is, first pitch is just around the corner. We're going to take just a little moment of break again, and we'll be right back with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is Chinese Taipei who is taking to the field as they are ready to begin this one here in just a couple moments. As the starting pitcher, Chen, is going to complete his tune-up tosses. All the introductions have been made. The pomp and circumstance has been completed, and this one is about ready to get underway. Japan will be wearing their road blue tops with the white pants in this one here, as Chinese Taipei will be in their traditional all whites with the blue and red trim. It is a full house as expected in the Tokyo Dome tonight, as we would have expected that to begin with earlier in the series when it's been the other teams, not including Japan, including last night's game between the Koreans and the Czechs. Lower bowl's been busy, but not necessarily at capacity. So, as we said, the tail of the tape tonight, what do we think? Well, it's going to be the bats of the Japanese. We think that is going to play out. Chinese Taipei, if they can stay close and keep it close, then they've got a nickel and dime. Their offense has included only 3 hits. And in fact, tonight in the lineup, we said Lin, Chang, and Giljeglija all stacked together at 3, 4, and 5 in the batting order. The 3 players that had hits in the first game for Chinese Taipei. And I think they're going to have to nickel and dime. They're going to have to bunt. They're going to have to try to play a little bit of small ball to manufacture some runs. So the tune-up tosses for Chen is completed. Shohei Ohtani is about ready to come to bat here. And we're ready to get this one underway. Japan and Chinese Taipei. Crowd is in a festive spirit, as to be expected, as the national team of Japan is making their deal. Hao Chun-Cheng, he pitched with the China Trust Brothers in the Chinese Professional League. He had 11 starts last season. He was 5-1. With a 1.49 ERA and 54 1/3 innings. He is the tallest pitcher on the Chinese Taipei staff. He lists at 6'3", and he is entrusted to have to face this dangerous lineup here tonight for the Chinese Taipei. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's a fastball swung on. It's hammered into right field. It's down for a base hit. Welcome to Tokyo, says Shohei Ohtani as he cruises into second base with a leadoff double. And that is how this one begins. Absolutely hit on the screws right into the right field corner where it was picked up by the right fielder Lin, who fired it back in, but Ohtani easily into second base with the double. That is going to bring up Kensuke Kondo to the plate. Kondo of the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Probably, arguably, in my opinion, the best or second best hitter, if you maybe take into account Shugo Maki, that is playing in the NPB, or that I should say is playing in the NPB. I know Taisi Makihara won the batting crown in the Pacific League, but I think as far as home runs, as far as average, everything, Kondo is my guy. There was a first pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kondo batting from the left side. Hit 301 last year for Fukuoka. There was a fastball swung on, is chopped softly over to first. It's juggled, bobbled, and then finally secured by Ning-Ting Wu. He steps on the bag, and it's going to retire Kondo for the first out of the inning, and that is going to advance Shohei Ohtani over to third. So Samurai Japan has the runner at third with one gone. That's going to bring Seiya Suzuki to the plate. Well, for Suzuki, he enjoyed himself a really fine season offensively for the Chicago Cubs last year, but as we talked about the defensive woes for Japan, he has seen his defensive time for the Cubs cut down as he spent a lot of time as their designated hitter. He takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Last year, he hit 32 homers and drove in 103 runs for the Cubs. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and jams Suzuki. He fouls it straight back, and the count is 0-2. So 0-2 to Suzuki. Ohtani at third, one gone here in the inning. The infield is back. They're going to trade the run for the out. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that just misses. Oh, boy. I want to see that one again. I think if this was Major League Baseball, we'd be seeing the ABS. The catcher, Lyle Lynn, was set up off the plate, definitely well off the plate, but the ball had a lot of backdoor run. It looked like it caught the outside corner. Not according to the home plate umpire tonight, as that fastball misses inside, and now the count goes to 2-2. So 2-2. And while we have it, the home plate umpire for tonight's game is Jordan Baker. And there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and Cheng strikes out Suzuki for the second out of the inning. So maybe he's going to wiggle out of this. He's going to leave it up to Masataka Yoshida. Well, for Yoshida, he has been applying his trade for the Boston Red Sox for the last few seasons. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses up and away, and count goes to 1-0. Yoshida, similar situation last year, came off an injury and some surgery, hit 266 with 4 homers and 26 RBIs. But basically a positionless player. There's a fastball swung on, its pop foul over behind the third base dugout, is going to reach the seats, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1-1 to Masataka Yoshida. Ohtani establishing his lead over at third. Yoshida waits on the offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and in. Count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Again, Yoshida waiting on the offering. Pitch on the way. It is a split finger pitch, misses down. It's now 3-1. The rest of the umpire crew for this one here. At first base, it's David Rackley. Omar Peralta is at second, and Edwin Loiza is over at third base tonight. As the pitch on the way, it is a split finger pitch, misses down. It squirts away from the catcher, Lin, but he's able to easily retrieve it. It's going to be ball 4 as Yoshida's aboard with a walk, and that is going to bring up Kaz Okamoto to the plate. Well, for Okamoto, he signed a big contract with the Toronto Blue Jays in the offseason for 4 years. Okamoto stepping in from the right side. One thing it looks like, and it, at least to me anyways, looks like he's trimmed down a little bit, Okamoto. batting .327, 15 homers and 49 RBIs last year with the Yomiuri Giants. But one thing that is for sure is he's very thick in the lower half. We talked about this the other night. Very strong legs, big calves. The breaking ball is taken for a called strike. 0-1 here to Okamoto. Right-hander Chen getting the sign from Lao Lin. He's ready to go to work. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. The count now goes to 0-2. Our friend from the Philippines is in the house. He says, let's go Samurai Japan. Welcome back in. We're glad to have you here. Always the pleasure. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, and Cheng able to get out of a jam. And that is going to do it for Samurai Japan here in the first inning. A leadoff double by Shohei Ohtani is left stranded at third. There was no runs in the inning, a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're through a half inning. It is Samurai Japan nothing and Chinese Taipei coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first inning in just a couple of moments after this. Appreciate you for jumping in tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we know that it is the bottom of the first inning, and coming to bat will be the top of the order for Chinese Taipei. That means Sung-Chi Cheng, Stuart Fairchild, and Anko Lin to face the starter tonight in Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So interesting here tonight, the Chinese Taipei, they've got to get themselves a win either tonight. If they don't win tonight, then basically their backs are up against the wall, and they've got to win their next 2 and hope for some help. Losing to Australia yesterday was a big punch in the midsection. That is for certain. Question is, so if you have to pick a dark horse team to win it all, who are you going to pick? Well, to be honest with you, as far as I'm concerned, my pick at the outset of the tournament was the Dominican Republic. I think that they are the odds-on favorite to go through. The Americans are very strong this year. This is probably arguably the best team that they have fielded for this tournament since its inception. Japan is always strong, and I still think they're going to get to the Final Four. The other question is who's going to wear the glass slipper? Who is going to be the Cinderella team to make it to the semis? Could it be Mexico? Could it be Canada? Could it be one of those type of teams? And I think if I had to say maybe who might be able to do that, and I'll keep you in suspense here because Yamamoto is ready to deliver his first pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. If I had to make a prediction on who that might be for this time around, I'm going to go with the Netherlands. I see them back into the semis. There's a pitch that misses down, and the count's now 2-0 to Cheng. They might be wearing the glass slipper to be able to get them into the Final Four. I think they're good enough to get there. I just don't think they're good enough to win it. So here comes the offering as it's on its way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. We missed a pitch in there somewhere. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cheng. Yamamoto working quickly here. The pitch clock in effect for the World Baseball Classic as the right-hander gets the sign and he rocks himself slowly into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on his chop slowly back to the pitcher. He fields it, throws to first, and that is going to retire Cheng. It was a swinging bunt type deal. Ground out 1-3 for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the center fielder in Stuart Fairchild. Well, for Fairchild, he was 0 for 3 in the opening game the other night. It's the start in center field. As he strides to the plate, batting from the right side here against Yamamoto. Yamamoto rocking into the windup and delivering. There's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats behind the first base dugout. Count is 0-1. Ball's in 1 strike. Last year, Fairchild was with the Atlanta Braves at the big league level. As Yamamoto rocks himself slowly into the windup. Kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. That was at 97 as Yamamoto walked the ladder up on Fairchild. They said tonight, I was reading in the Japanese media, that it's going to be 3 innings tonight for Yamamoto, which is, I don't want to say surprising. It is a pitch count that they have, so I would have thought if he was economical, maybe they let him run a 4th as that split finger misses in the dirt. Good stop there by the catcher Wakatsuki. Defensively tonight for Samurai Japan, from left to right field, Yoshida in left, Suzuki in center, Kondo's in right. Around the horn from first to third, Murakami at first, Maki at second, Genda at short, and Okamoto at third, with Yamamoto and Wakatsuki the battery. Here's the 1-2. And there's a split finger pitch waved at and missed, and Fairchild is down on strikes. He's out for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the right fielder and Anko Lin. Also, the manager of Japan said that he would like to see an early lead because certainly at a tournament like this, game could be decided by the bullpen. And depending on who they have lined up to pitch or who they may want to use tonight, that could dictate a little bit more. Certainly, you don't have to waste a good bullpen against the Czechs. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to third, fielded neatly by Okamoto. He fires to first. It's a ground out 5-3 as Lin is retired for the side here in the first, as Chinese Taipei goes in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your score is 1 complete is in the books. It is 0-0. Samurai Japan coming to bat here in inning number 2, and we'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a 0-0 ball game as we are moving to the top of the second inning, and slated to come to bat for Samurai Japan will be Munetaka Murakami, Shugo Maki, and Sosuke Genda, as they will be facing the right-hander Chen here for his second inning of work. One of the things that is of interest in the tournament here, when we were going through some of the rules last night with regards to the pitching, one of the rules is that you can go 65 pitches in the first round. That's the maximum amount of pitches that you're allowed to throw. And then there are certain rest rules as well. And I can't remember, I think it's 30 pitches or more. You have to have at least a day's rest. So depending upon who is pitching, it'll affect if you're going to burn a guy or not. And then you can pitch on back-to-back days, but you can't pitch in 3 consecutive days. I think that's days and not games. So here we go, back to the live action, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses down to Murakami, and the count is 1-0. 16 pitches in the first inning for the right-hander. Murakami last year at 273 with 22 homers and 47 RBIs for the Swallows. And Japan, as there's a breaking ball missing down, it's now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Be interested to see what the Swallows are going to be like this year. I would think that they are on life support. They are have so many players that have either departed or been moved. As there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-1. And of course, with Murakami being one of those as well, I'm not really sure where they fit in. I think I would be picking them to finish dead last in the NPB this year, as that fastball misses upstairs and the count goes to 3-1 on Murakami. Murakami getting a chance with the Chicago White Sox. White Sox, keep your eye on them in Major League Baseball. They've been making some shrewd moves over the offseason. Brought Anthony Kay back from Japan. There's a fastball that misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4. And Murakami is going to get himself a walk, and that is going to bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. Well, for Maki, Yokohama DNA based our second baseman. We've seen, at least in the warm-ups, the way that they were using Maki is they would play him at second base and then move him over to first base late in the ball game if they needed some defensive help. And there's a breaking ball that he swings at and misses. He said he couldn't hold up. He did go around. It's no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander waiting on the offering. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. And as they fire it in behind the runner, interesting they did that. Murakami wasn't exactly off to the races. They took a shot at him at second base, but he gets in there safely. And Maki is aboard with a single, and Samurai Japan has something brewing again here in inning number 2 with runners at first and second and nobody out. If ever there was a moment for a bunt situation, this would be it, I would think, or at least within the next 2 hitters. Sosuke Genda and Kenya Wakatsuki do play the small ball. Genda, the shortstop of the Saitama Cebu Lions, hit .209 last year with not much power. One time, he stole quite a few bases in his time in the NPB, but we were saying the other night he's on the wrong side of 30 and he has lost a few steps. There's a fastball that comes inside and almost hits him. He says it's hit him. He's claiming it hit him, and so he wants to see if he's going to get the base. I don't know. Are they going to challenge or not? We're going to get a look at the replay. I guess you can challenge. Well, that's pretty close. Fairness to the home plate umpire, I'm not sure it did, as Genda almost did the splits. Well, looks like they're going to take a look at it, and we're going to have our first challenge that we've seen here in the Classic. Wasn't really anything worth challenging the other night in that Czech-Korea game. So I wonder exactly where they are doing the challenge. Is the booth in New York? Or where is it at where they're looking at it? We'll get another look at the replay. Yeah, I think they're going to win the challenge. On the replay we just saw when they slowed it down, Genda was hit by the pitch. So that is going to load the bases, and that'll bring up Kenya Wakatsuki to the plate. Not exactly the guy that you want batting with the bases loaded, per se. So Genda makes his way down to first base. Bases are full of Samurai Japan players. And they are looking to put up a crooked number here straight away. Kenya Wakatsuki stepping to the dish. Catcher for the Oryx Buffaloes. He really came into his own last season. Not necessarily known for his big bat, been so as much as he is known for his defensive play. Getting the start here tonight in this one. So the pitcher, Chen, in some trouble here, delivers a first pitch fastball down, and the count is 1-0. And looming on deck is Shohei Ohtani. Last year, Wakatsuki at 272, 6 homers and 31 RBIs. Much above his career numbers. As we said, he's not usually a big hitter like that. There's a breaking ball that ends up in the left-handed batter's box. The count is now 2-0. Samurai Japan threatening here in inning number 2. As Wakatsuki waggles about, now time has been called. And out comes the pitching coach on a full sprint to the mound as he's coming out to have a little word with his pitcher here. This is the guy you want the ball to be put in play with. The next guy, if you end up with a free base of sorts, of course, with Ohtani looming on deck, he's the guy that you don't necessarily want to pitch to. So that conference is over. Cheng has been given his pep talk. And we are ready to resume the action. We saw Cheng pitch in the exhibition. I can't remember now if it was against the Fighters or against the Hawks when they were in their tour of Taiwan, and he had some issues with his command. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. He got a lot of help there from Wakatsuki. It's grounded foul on the third base side. He did bring it up to 92 miles an hour, but we saw that and noted that his command of his fastball was all over the place in that exhibition game. And here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, and it's popped up behind home plate. Lin racing back. It's playable, and he's going to make the catch. And that is a wasted at bat here for Samurai Japan, as Wakatsuki's going to be retired for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Shohei Ohtani to the plate. Well, for Ohtani, he got the party started going in the first inning with a double into the right field corner. But he was left stranded. Now he's got an opportunity to be able to do some damage here. 55 homers, 102 RBIs last year for the Dodgers. Takes a first pitch fastball low, and the count is 1-0. Last night's game had fireworks. The Koreans jumped all over the Czechs in the first inning with a grand slam. As the pitch is on the way here, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The pitch looked pretty low. Ohtani not happy with that call. Ball and 1 strike it is. Our Filipino friend that says that Skubal is going to be a nightmare for the bats. There's a fastball that just misses outside. Well, I guess that pitch made up for the one that was low because that looked like it was a strike. 2-1 to Ohtani. I understand Skubal is going to pitch against Great Britain and then he's done for the tournament, which to me is absolutely bizarre. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is golfed into deep right field. This ball is going to be trouble. Back onto the warning track, looking up, and Lin, and it's gone into the seats. A grand slam home run for Ohtani, and Samurai Japan is out to a 4-0 lead here. And that now is the damage that they were looking for early on. So the Japanese fans are in full applause. Lots of cameras out as Ohtani rounds the bases. And Samurai Japan with a early 4-0 lead here in inning number 2. And for a team like Samurai Japan for Chinese Taipei that is offensively starved, 4-0 could be a mountain to climb. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I'm pretty sure that the Japanese tabloids, their fingers are going to be typing certainly for tomorrow. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count runs even to Kondo at 1-1. Pitch was a breaking ball that hung up, and Ohtani just golfed it right into the seats. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Cheng, who throws to first, and Kondo's retired on a ground out 4-3. He's out for the second out of the inning, and that'll leave it up to the center fielder and Seiya Suzuki. A Filipino friend says his -3.5 is good. Yeah, well, I think you might be right on that one. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Suzuki. Suzuki 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. And he pitched on the way. Another breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-2. Suzuki trying to golf that one into the seats, but to no avail. 4-0 lead here for Japan in the second inning. There's a fastball that misses well outside. The count is 1-2. 32 homers, 103 RBIs with the Cubs last year for Suzuki as the fastball rides inside under the hands, and the count now goes to 2-2. Suzuki is a pretty accomplished hitter, considering he was drafted by the Hiroshima Carp in the NPB as a pitcher. And they later converted him as that ball misses down in the dirt, and the count now runs full to Suzuki at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the pitch on the way is a breaking ball missing way upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. And Suzuki's aboard with a 2-out walk, and that is going to bring up Masataka Yoshida to the plate. And for Yoshida, well, he is the 8th hitter to come to bat in this half inning. And as we talked about earlier, it was the walks. Then the command for Chen in the last outing that we saw was a problem, and it's resumed here. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. And so far tonight, he has walked 3 and hit a batter, and we're only in the 2nd inning. Pitch coming to Yoshida, fastball misses up and away, and the count runs even to 1-1. It's difficult if you can't throw strikes. You're going to have your challenges. Mike Cool Hooks is back in the house. Hope he didn't take the under in this one. He was here yesterday, and we were talking about the other day. There's a fastball swung on it. It is hammered, and that was just hammered foul down the right field line, and the count is 1-2. Get a look at the replay again on that one. Did not miss by much, but that pitch by Ohtani, or the home run that Ohtani hit, he was really on his front side. He had to reach out. It was a hook-barreled ball that got out. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. This ball is going to be trouble. It's going to get down, and it's off the wall. And Colin in to pick it up. He fires it back in. Rounding third and heading home is Suzuki. The throw is not going to be in time. Throw down to third is not going to be in time either, as Yu Chang is not able to get the tag down. As sliding in safely is Masataka Yoshida with a triple. We're going to see if the Chinese Taipei is going to have a look at this one. Yu Chang seems to think that he got the tag down in time. We're going to get a look at the replay ourselves. Regardless, if he is out, he'll be the 3rd out of the inning, but the run would count. The question is whether or not Yoshida slid in safely or not. And we'll get a look at the replay ourselves here. Ooh, bang, bang on that one there. I'm not so sure. Well, they decided not to challenge, so there these first pitch fastball delivered to Okamoto. Misses inside, so it's a triple and an RBI for Yoshida. 1 ball and no strikes to Okamoto. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down. The count now goes to 2-0. Okamoto, the 9th hitter to come to the plate here in the inning. As Cheng has got himself in a host of trouble. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-0. It doesn't get any easier with Munetaka Murakami waiting his turn on deck. There is a mercy rule in the World Baseball Classic. It is 15 runs through 5 innings or 10 through 7. You haven't seen it yet. There's a fastball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4 to Okamoto. And that is going to bring Munetaka Murakami to the plate. And Murakami, of course, led off the inning. I wonder what Chinese Taipei is going to have to think about this. They're going to have to try to get some takeaways, as there's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count is 1-0 to Murakami. Going to have to be competitive with the at-bats. Try to build off of something at least going into your next game, because down by 5 in the 2nd inning is quite demoralizing. 50 pitches so far for Cheng, and he has thrown 26 balls and 24 strikes. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now runs even to 1-1 on Murakami. That is a recipe for disaster. Right-hander again, kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. I'm not so sure about that one. Ball and 2 strikes as Murakami does a spin around. I think that is the let's keep the game close called strike because the pitch was well up in the zone. And now they're going to add another ball to the count because it is a pitch time clock violation for the pitcher. Interesting. So add a ball to the count here. It's now 2-2. Pitch on the way. There's a fastball that misses up, but it's now 3-2. It's not like the pitcher Cheng needs a whole lot of help here in throwing balls because that's what he's done a lot of here tonight. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Murakami. Right-hander delivers again. Fastball swung on. He hits it off of the pitcher. Nice play by the second baseman, but he's not going to be able to make the play anywhere. And in to score comes Yoshida with another run. So Yoshida cashes in again. It's stopping at second is Okamoto. Safe at first is Murakami with the base hit. And Samurai Japan have extended their lead to 6-0 here. We had a couple of folks in the stream last week, and they were asking us, what do you think about Chinese Taipei? Are they going to be able to have some success? You know, they're the second-ranked team in the world. And my flat-out answer was no, because I didn't think they could hit, and we saw that in the exhibition play. We have a conference on the mound, but I don't think it's a visit in terms of an injury or in terms of a visit to pull the pitcher. It's more along the lines of an injury visit because pitcher Cheng got hit in the foot as the ball was deflected off him over to the second baseman. So they may be keeping him out here to take a bullet for Chinese Taipei so they don't have to burn any other pitchers. Only got 11 more pitches left in his game here. And I would have to think they probably want to try to let him get his 11 more pitches in here before they have to take him out. No, he is going to come out. That looks like it's going to be the end of the night for him. He gets some fist pumps from everybody else. So the right-hander of the China Trust Brothers, his night is over. We're going to have a pitching change, and we'll bring that back for you in just a couple of moments. Stay with us, everybody. It is the Samurai Japan with a 6-0 lead here over Chinese Taipei, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments after this pitching change.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you gonna throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera? Or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley, who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
That's right, everybody. We got a pitching change on our hands here, and we'll bring that for you in just a couple of moments when we come back after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Chi Wei-Hu, who is replacing Hao Chun Cheng in the second inning here, and he'll be entrusted to have to face Shugo Maki. Maki 1 for 1 tonight. He had singled and scored a run his first time up, and that was earlier in the inning, as this is going to be the 11th batter to come to bat here for Samurai Japan in this half inning. as the reliever has completed his tune-up tosses, we are ready to resume the action. Lots of stars in the Tokyo Dome outside of the sport of baseball, taking it all in. And there's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Who pitched for unit president, the Lions, the Chinese League last year? He only had a 2-7 record. So he is on to try to pick up some innings here in relief as that fastball misses down, and the count now goes to a ball and a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It'd be a split finger pitch down in the dirt, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Mackey. Be back at it again tomorrow night. It is going to be Samurai Japan going head-to-head tomorrow evening as they will take on the Koreans. So hopefully you guys can make it back in. Same channel and same time tomorrow. It'll be at 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern, wherever you're at in North America, as that fastball misses up and away, or 7 o'clock in the evening, 1900 hours in Japan. Right-hander ready to go again. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the walk parade continues. Another base on balls, as that is going to load the bases. Okamoto over to third, Murakami over to second, and with the walk, Mackey is at first. That's going to bring Sosuke Genda to the plate. And Genda, he was hit by a pitch back earlier in this second inning, which loaded the bases and eventually led to the grand slam by Ohtani. Here's the first pitch to Genda. It's a breaking ball missing upstairs. The count is 1-0. Game could get ugly in a big-time hurry. Tomorrow night, NPB and KBO could be a fun match. Yeah, absolutely. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. The only problem is I just don't think that the Koreans have the pitching to take care of Samurai Japan. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's why they play the game. You never know. Big game tonight, and Japan could be shut down for nothing tomorrow as a breaking ball is taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to Genda. They got basically 7 hitters deep in the Japanese lineup. But you could also say that about the Dominicans. Fastball swung on. It's going to break the bat of Genda. It's going to get over the head of the second baseman. 1 run is in, and they're going to throw it back in, and 2 runs are in. And Genda is going to get himself a couple RBIs, and the hit parade continues. So in to score Okamoto as well as Murakami. And that just continues to add to the scoreline. It is now 8-0 here for Samurai Japan. Ball sawed it right off in the bat sawed right off in his hands. It was an interesting way it broke. So he got runners on the corners as Mackey went first to third. It's going to bring Kenya Wakatsuki to the plate. 8-0 Samurai Japan here with the early lead. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Wakatsuki was the first out of the inning. He had popped up with the bases loaded. That was all before Shohei hit the grand slam. There's a breaking ball that's waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander against the right-hander. As Who delivers, it's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the right-hander works himself to the set. Who ready to deliver? Kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses outside. Count now goes to 2-2. I cited it in the exhibition games. The challenge for Chinese Taipei is pitchers who can throw strikes. And that is always a bit of a problem when you're walking the yard. when you have to throw something across, then they do the damage. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to be a base hit. It's going to get down. It's going to get all the way, almost to the wall, all the way to the warning track. And Wakatsuki has got himself a single, a throw in behind Genda, but he dives back into third. So another RBI here. The Batakenya Wakatsuki. The hit parade just continues. You also have to think, too, if you are Chinese Taipei, you want to keep the games close, because if it ends up coming down to where you end up, if they win the next couple of games and it goes to a tiebreaker, well, then the problem is how is the tie going to be broken? Well, run difference is the way. And right now, 9 runs on the board for Japan. And Shohei Ohtani swings it, and he hammers it past the diving second baseman into right field. And the Samurai Japan are going to continue to play first and third offensively, as Wakatsuki is going to make it all the way around to third. Genda in to score. Ohtani with another hit. He is third of the night. He is a triple shy of the cycle. That's his 5th RBI. And the onslaught is going to continue here. Actually, Wakatsuki stopped at second base. I thought Wakatsuki went all the way around to third on that. I know he doesn't run particularly well as a catcher. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side. Fielded neatly by Wu. He flips it to the pitcher covering. It's going to be a ground out, 3-1. As Kondo is going to be retired. Kondo's got to feel like the loneliest guy out there. He hasn't got a hit tonight. He's 0 for 3. Well, we got a whole bunch of runs in the inning as they bat around and they send a total of 15 hitters to the plate. 9 runs in the inning on the benefit. Well, I'll have to come back and give you all the rest of the happy totals if you're a fan of the Japanese in just a couple of moments. No errors in the inning, and there was a couple of runners left aboard. We'll be right back. 9-0 for Japan as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Hang with us, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. 10 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. That was the second inning totals for Samurai Japan. Our friend God is Great in the house said he's watching the game from the land of the rising sun. The game's not on TV, so he's watching it on his computer. Oh boy, that was a firework-infested second inning for the Samurai Japan. And that now is going to bring up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters to come to bat here for Chinese Taipei. I have to do a quick glance, but the amount of pitches so far thrown in this one. Yamamoto has thrown 13 pitches. Pitchers for Chinese Taipei have thrown 70. So that is where we stand here as the action has resumed. The first pitch from Yamamoto misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to you, Chang. Chang 1 for 4 in the opener yesterday against the Australians. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kind of have to feel sorry in some regards But, it's that sorry, not sorry type feeling. As there's a fastball swung on and missed. That was at 95, and the count goes to 1-2. So I was saying the other night about one of the folks that was listening in asking, saying, hey, Chinese Taipei's second ranked in the world. I go, the rankings don't really mean a whole lot. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. 1-2, it remains on Chang. And I'll tell you why the rankings don't mean so much, because the reality of it is some of the tournaments, the teams don't send their top players. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball down. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say that Chang didn't go. It's now 2-2. So when Chinese Taipei won the Premier 12, they might send some of their better players, but teams like the United States and Venezuela and the Dominican and other countries like that, even the Japanese are not sending their best players. That fastball misses down. It's now 3-2, sending almost like their B teams or C teams. But they all count towards the world rankings. And when Chinese Taipei sent their group, they sent a pretty strong contingent. As the 3-2 is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. And the count remains at 3-2 to Yu Chang. And it's no disrespect to the Chinese Taipei, to the Taiwanese. They play some entertaining baseball as the 3-2 is on the way. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 3-2 strikes. But the difference between 90 and 95 is massive. You got guys that can hit 90 and they can square it up, and all of a sudden you add another 5 more miles to the fastball, and it's a swing and a miss. Breaking ball misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4, and Yu Chang is aboard with a leadoff walk here. So the former Cleveland Guardian, Pittsburgh Pirate, Tampa Bay Ray, amongst others, gets himself a leadoff walk, and that is going to bring Kung Kwang Gilzheglaja to the plate. I hope I say that right. That is one of the more difficult names to have to enunciate. And the first pitch to him is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. He was 1 for 1 in the last game yesterday against Australia. He was with the Weishuan Dragons in the Chinese League last year. Got a chance to see him play. He is also a pretty big fella in the waist down. There's a fastball swung through and missed. Count is now 0-2. Joe C. Siu, who is with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, the pitcher, I was talking about the other night. I got a chance to see him pitch live in person against the Monkeys last year. Fastball misses up. He was extremely impressive. Big time impressive. And that's why he got a lot of money with the Hawks. And the Hawks have entrusted him with number 18, traditionally given to the aces of their staffs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Yamamoto delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to third. Okamoto goes to second for 1, back to first. That's a double play. It's going to go as a 5-4-3 variety. And that is going to put 2 out here, and it'll leave it up to the first baseman and Ning-Ting Wu. Well, for those of you who have been around our channel, Wu has applied his trade, or had applied his trade with the Saitama Cebu Lions in the NPB. He is back in the Chinese League now. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count is 0-1 to Wu. Wu is 0 for 3 in the other game. He plays for the TSG Hawks down in Kaohsiung. That's a beautiful stadium. I think they call it the City of Lights or Light Stadium. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats on the third base side, and the count goes to 0-2. For our friends that are waking up on the East Coast and joining us, well, you missed a lot of fireworks. It was called Shohei Ohtani. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count goes to 1-2. Shohei Ohtani, 3 at-bats in the first 2 innings, and he's a triple away from the cycle. He's got a home run and 5 runs batted in. Pitch on the way, breaking ball swung on and grounded foul. Count remains at 1-2. It's amazing when you have a generational player. In Japan, usually will have 1 or 2 Certainly Yamamoto falling into that category as well, as that fastball misses down. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wu. If he can perform over the next 5, 6, or 7 years with the Dodgers, as he did last year, he is going to be in that category on the mound. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. That was at 97. And when you watch Yamamoto, it's an easy 97. So here we go. Here's the 2-2 pitch again to Wu. This is 8th pitch of the at-bat. Fastball swung on and hammered foul over on the first base side. Count remains at 2-2. And the 2-2 coming from Yamamoto. Delivers. Fastball swung on. Grounded on one hop over to Mackey. He fields it. He throws to first, and Wu is going to be gone. It's a good at-bat by Wu. Good competitive at-bat, as he was able to take Yamamoto to 8 pitches, but he's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it for Chinese Taipei here in the 2nd. They go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. The unconventional 1-2-3, because Chang was erased on the walk. Your score as we go to the top of the 3rd inning, it is a 10-0 ball game for Samurai Japan. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. Stick around, everybody. We're glad you are with us here tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Your score as we move to the top of the 3rd inning, it is a 10 spot on the board for Samurai Japan over Chinese Taipei. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Matt Hollis, as we come back here, the score line is 10-0 for Samurai Japan as they go to the top of the 3rd inning. And when you're thinking about Samurai Japan, you got to think it's got to be basically batting practice from here on out. Where else are you going to be able to get live looks from somebody throwing like this on a regular basis? We do have a pitching change as Seiya Suzuki swings at the first pitch and he hammers it into center field for a base hit. So Suzuki aboard with a leadoff single here to start the inning. And that is going to bring up Masataka Yoshida to the plate. It is Chen Shah who is now in the ball game, as he will be the 3rd pitcher used. So Shaw on in relief as the right-hander delivers a breaking ball that is fouled away, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Yoshida tonight, he has walked and tripled. He's scored a run and driven in a run. As the right-hander delivers again a fastball that misses way outside. The big, good old-fashioned 10 spot in inning number 2. 1 ball and 1 strike to Yoshida. Shaw ready to deliver again. Here comes the offering on its way. Breaking ball swung on, popped up over on the third base side, but it's going to drift off into the seats, and the count now goes to 1-2. And it's not going to get any easier for Taipei. They do have to play the Czechs, and then they also have to play the Koreans. As I was saying earlier, to beat the Koreans could happen, but there's a line drive hit past the diving shortstop into left field, so back-to-back singles to start the third inning here. As Yoshida is aboard with a leadoff single, that is going to bring Kazuo Komodo to the plate. The problem is going to be the run rules. So even if you end up going out and beating Korea and you end up in a situation, obviously the head-to-head is one thing. But with the Australians knocking off Chinese Taipei, that all of a sudden makes the Australian-Korean game a whole lot more interesting in a couple of days' time. So here's the offering from Shaw. It's a breaking ball. Floats in for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Okamoto. Shaw is in his first World Baseball Classic experience. There is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now is no balls and 2 strikes. And also to know about Zhu Chen Sha, he is currently pitching. He's 6'2". He's currently pitching he's in the minor leagues. Or he was in the minor leagues last year. As there is a pitch that is fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on and chopped foul over to the third base coach's box. He is currently in the athletics organization. As another ball was grounded foul, and we're ready to do this again. Shaw works himself to the set. He checks the runners and now delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. It's at 93. He's got some giddy up on his fastball. He's going to be 22 years old this year. His 22-year-old year. He has worked as a starter in the Oakland organization, but he has not gotten higher than high A. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to get golfed into left center field. It's going to get down for a hit. Fairchild picks it up and rounding second and scoring easily is Suzuki. He's going to come home with the 11th run of the ball game for Japan, as Okamoto is aboard with a single, and the hit parade continues here. The pitch was a breaking ball. That had to be almost in the other batter's box, and Okamoto just reached out and poked it into the outfield. Oh, things go from bad to worse. Stopping at second was Yoshida. It's going to bring Munetaka Murakami to the plate. As the right-hander ready to go. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. The count is 1 ball and no strikes to Murakami. Back to the minor league call, as he was last year. He did pretty good in the Cal League, and then they moved him to Lansing in high A, and he struggled. So they'll have to make the adjustment there. There's a ground ball hit over to first. Wu goes to second for 1, and that's all they're going to get. It's going to go in the books as a fielder's choice. Okamoto is retired 3-6. He's gone for the first out of the inning. Advancing to third is Yoshida. Safe at first on the trail side is Murakami. That's going to bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. So Maki coming to the plate. He is 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a single and a walk. He has scored a pair of runs. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses up, and the count is 1-0. So the onslaught here continues for Samurai Japan as they are up 11-0. The bigger question is, when does Chinese Taipei get their first hit? There's a breaking ball grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Manager Ibata in a good humor right now, and why wouldn't you be when you're up by 11 runs here in the top of the third inning? Right-hander Shaw working himself to the belt, now delivers. Fastball swung on, chopped foul just over by the third base coach's box, and the count goes to 1-2 on Mackey. Oh, not only did he chop it foul, he also hit the third base coach. So there you go. I thought it was the third base coach was going to field the ball, but no, he ended up taking it right square in the back. It wasn't like it was a bullet, but it was a chopper. There's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Mackey. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Do welcome all of you who have joined us in the stream this evening, as we'll be back again tomorrow night for Japan and Korea. So set the table, and we'll see how that's going to go. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's now 3-2 to Mackey. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'll get on that one, and then the next night after that, the game will go off at 7 o'clock local time in Japan, 7 p.m. There's a fastball blistered foul into the seats down the left field line. Count remains full. We are giving some thought about what we're going to be doing is that there's supposed to be a clock change in North America on Saturday to Sunday. Pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Mackey is going to be retired. And on the move, on the 3-2 was Murakami. So he's going to get second base is going to be stolen. Mackey goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. They put the runner in motion to stay out of the double play, but they did not throw down from Lyle Lynn. That's going to bring Sosuke Genda to the plate, who is 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a single. He's got a couple RBIs. He's also been hit by a pitch. As the pitch from Shaw is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We'll put the schedule up in the next a little bit. After this game is done, we'll do our posting. Hopefully you guys can join us for that one. Hopefully it's a little bit closer. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Shaw leaning in, getting the sign from the catcher, Lynn. And the pitch on the way. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander ready to go again. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. That ball had a lot of backdoor run on it. It was a nice pitch there from Shaw. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander kicks and delivers again, there's a fastball that just misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shaw goes to the rosin bag. Runner at second is Murakami. Runner at third is Yoshida. 2 gone here in the third inning. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded up the middle. That's going to get a pair of runs in. And to score comes Yoshida. And right on his tail is Murakami. So it's a 2 RBI again here for Genda. He's got 4 RBIs on the night. And that is going to increase the score line to 13-0. And that'll bring up Kenya Wakatsuki to the plate. So the Japanese barrage continues here. As the right-hander Shaw kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. This is chopped over to the right side, fielded deep in the 4-hole by the second baseman. They throw to Shaw covering. That's going to go down as a ground out, 4-1. Yin-Ting Wu had come off the bag to try to field it, but he couldn't get to the ball. Nice play by the second baseman, Cheng. And that is going to do it here as Samurai Japan is done in their half of the inning. They scored 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the third inning. It is 13-0 for Samurai Japan, and we'll be back to bring you more action when we return right after this timeout. Nothing like a little silence in that particular instance, as it looks like our video didn't have any sound to that one. We'll have to do some updates next time we do Chinese Taipei. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Our friend Steve Rademacher to keep you entertained.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. If you are just joining us, it is not a misprint on the ticker. The Samurai Japan have a 13-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third inning. As we mentioned, some of the rules here in the Classic, there is a mercy rule in effect that is 15-5 or 10-7. And they are going to be probably pounding their fist on the table for more beer sales. One would have to think, as this game could be ended early. And so, unfortunately, there may not be as many as people would like. There's a first pitch fastball from Yamamoto delivered to Kun-Yu Chang, taken for a called strike. Chang 0 for 3 in his opener against the Australians. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. Chang, Lin, and Chen to come to bat here against Yamamoto. They call it the early termination rule. That's how they officially refer to it. There's a fastball that comes inside, and it's fouled off, and down goes Chang. And the count goes to 1-2. Fastball rode up and in from Yamamoto. Tough night at the office for Chinese Taipei. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is, and as the right-hander Yamamoto rocks himself into the windup, and now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to short. Genda fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Chang on a ground out, 6-3. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the catcher in Lao Lin. I think if you've been in baseball at some point in time in your coaching career, playing career, you will have run into a situation like this where you get absolutely worked. And there's not a darn thing you can do about it. All you got to do is just make sure you take competitive at-bats. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded over to third, fielded by Okamoto. It's in the dirt. Not going to be able to make the play as a Murakami tried to pick it. But safe at first is Lin. We're going to have to see if they're going to rule that as an error. My guess is it would be. That is a throwing error by Okamoto. It's E5 in the books. The ball was in the dirt, and that's going to bring up Chen to the plate. Curious to see how Okamoto will play in Toronto at third. Certainly going to trade some defense for his offense. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Is the first at bat of the evening for Chen. He was 0 for 3 against the Aussies last night with 2 strikeouts. As the pitch from Yamamoto on the way as the fastball swung on and he fouls it right into his feet. He does wear the shin guard on his lead leg, and it got most of the blow there. Yamamoto ready to deliver pitch number 39 here. As he holds set and now delivers. Fastball just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2 balls and a strike. I was doing the count of the number of pitches. 97 pitches in 3 innings for Chinese Taipei. That ought to tell you all you need to know. It's pretty much almost a game where there's a fastball swung on and it breaks the bat of Chen as the bat went about as far as the ball. He had splinters in his hand. Count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our Filipino friends, an onslaught by Japan. Yeah, absolutely. It is a lesson in hitting tonight. And hopefully Okamoto will help the Jays. Yeah, I certainly hope he will. I mean, the park, I think, will play into his favor. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Chen is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Sung-Chae Cheng. Yeah, the Rogers Center is definitely a hitter-friendly park. I think with Okamoto, he's got the power to get balls up into the jet stream. If I had to make some predictions on Okamoto, I would say he's probably going to hit in a Blue Jay uniform. He'll hit about 250. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. I can see him hitting 20 homers and driving in about 80 runs in that Blue Jay lineup. As the pitch on the way, there's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Cheng. It is Shoma Fujihira who is getting loose, or one of the pitchers that is warming up in the bullpen. There's another pitcher that is doing some band work. One would think that there might be some more action there. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes to 1-2 on Cheng. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yamamoto back to work here, ready to go again. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside. It's now 2-2 to Cheng. A Filipino friend says, losing Bo Bichette is quite a blow. Yeah, certainly with the bat it would be. Defensively, it might be an upgrade moving the second baseman there, Jimenez, over to shortstop. There's a split finger pitch missing down. It's now 3-2. I mean, Jimenez was a platinum glove winner at the second base position, and that is, of course, different than playing shortstop, but had experience playing shortstop in the minor league for the Guardians organization, so should be able to get in there and do just fine. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count remains at 3-2 to Cheng. One would think that this will be the last inning of work for Yamamoto and a very efficient evening for him as the pitch is on the way. Breaking ball misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. I spoke maybe a little too soon. As Cheng has got himself a walk, it'll bring Stuart Fairchild to the plate with runners at first and second. And the Samurai Japan is going to go up to the mound, and they're going to have a word with Yamamoto. Is this going to be it, or are they going to let him stay in here? I would hope that they let him stay in the ball game. Let him finish it off. If you throw 50 pitches, you have to have 4 days rest. If you throw 30 pitches, you get a day's rest. And if you pitch on 2 consecutive days, you have to have a day's rest. That's the way it works. So if I'm Samurai Japan here, Yamamoto probably says, hey, listen, let's get him one more batter here. And the batter that he's going to face is Stuart Fairchild. Fairchild 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out in his first at bat against Yamamoto. 0 for 3 the other night, so 0 for 4 in the tournament. Batting from the right side as the right-hander delivers. There's a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Chinese Taipei looking to try to get on the board here. As the 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball upstairs at 95. Just misses. Counts now 1-1. When he put away Fairchild in his last at bat, it was a diet of split finger pitches. Here's the 1-1. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander ready to go. Delivers. Fastball swung on in. Fouled off the glove of the catcher, and the count now goes to 2-2. Ball just trickled away. Runner at second is Liao Lin. Runner at first is Sung Chi Chen. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Stuart Fairchild. There is 2 gone here in the bottom of the third. As the home plate umpire has come out and signaled to the pitcher, we're going to have some eye contact before. Nope, here we go again. And now it's a time count violation. I'm not sure I like that. Well, first of all, here's what I don't like, and they're going to have to get an explanation on this. So it's a ball to the count. So what had happened is the home plate umpire stepped out. They're going to need, I would want an explanation as he stepped out of the batter's box or the umpire's area behind the catcher, warned the pitcher that he needed to have eye contact from the hitter. Then he goes back in. They don't reset the clock or stop the clock. And then he bangs him for a pitch count violation. That I don't like. So here comes the pitch. And there's a fastball that misses down. That's going to be a ball 4. It's going to load the bases. I'm going to need I would need an explanation on that one, at least from the home plate umpire, as to why that would be the case. So back-to-back walks issued here by Fairchild. And that is going to do it as it's going to bring the manager out of the Japanese dugout. That's going to be the end of the night. I think while I'm at the end of the night, I want an explanation of that last call, because why did they add an extra ball to the count? So Yamamoto's night is done. I believe it's going to be Shoma Fujihira. We're going to wait for that in just a couple of moments, but we'll be back after this pitching change with all the action for you right after this.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
13-0 for Japan. We got a pitching change. There is 2 out in the bottom of the third, and the bases are full of Chinese Taipei runners. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is the 27-year-old right-hander Shoma Fujihira from the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles who is coming into the ballgame. Last year for Tohoku, he was 2-2 in 62 games in relief. He posted a 2.11 ERA, worked 59 and 2/3 innings, allowing 45 hits, 16 runs, only 14 were earned, only walking 20 and striking out 66. So he is now coming in to face An-Ko Lin, the right fielder of Chinese Taipei. And the first pitch is a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So Fujihira coming in, doing what he does best, and that is throwing strikes. I love it. They say that Fujihira is with Rakuten of the KBO. Wrong, guys. As I look at their feed, it is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles in the NPB as that fastball misses down. The count is 1-1 to Lin. Lin grounded to third his first time up. He was 1 for 4 in last night's affair against the Aussies. As the right-hander holds set, now delivers. Fastball swung on and is going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count is 1-2 strikes. And now the game that's looking large is going to be that game with Australia and Korea. I would think who would have thought that would be the pivotal game? I would have thought the other night it would have been Chinese Taipei and Korea if you would ask me going into the tournament, but that's where it happens. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-2. And based on what I saw last night, I do think that the Korean pitching is hittable, and there's no doubt about that. Here's the 2-2 pitch. On the way, fastball swung on and missed, and An-Ko Lin is in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning. Chinese Taipei, they threaten, but they do not score. There was no runs in the inning, no hits. There was an error, and there were 3 runners left. Your score is we are through 3 complete. It is a 13-0 lead for Samurai Japan. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of inning number 4 when we return after this. Our friend from our Filipino friend says Yamamoto's done his job now. Japan just needs to keep up the defense, and those are all facts. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this entertaining timeout from our friend Steve.
Hello, everybody. And you know why we're here? Well, of course you do. You'd be nuts not to be here to watch Freddie call another game. Freddie, the king of kings on baseball commentary. You know what? Come to think of it, with Freddie, there's absolutely nothing hotter than listening to him broadcast. Not even the Reaper Triple X puckered butt squeezing hot sauce. We'll just give it a whirl here. All right, Freddie. Cheers. Holy cow, that may be a close second to you, Freddie. Still the hottest broadcast right now on YouTube. Peace out. Call a great game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to come to bat here in the 4th inning. The top of the order for Samurai Japan, that would be Shohei Ohtani, Kensuke Kondo, and Seiya Suzuki. As it is, as far as I know, it's still going to be the reliever. That would be Shaw, still in the game for Chinese Taipei. We'll have to do a double check on that if there is going to be any type of change, but it does look like Shaw is back in here. So Ohtani to step in. He's 3 for 3 tonight. He is a triple away from the cycle. The first pitch delivered to him is a fastball that misses for a ball. So he's got a single, a double, and a home run. And he's got 5 RBIs in this one as the right-hander ready to go again. Holds to the set, kicks, and fires. It is a fastball swung on. This is lined right to the glove of the first baseman, Ning Ting Wu. who leaps and makes the catch, and that is going to retire Ohtani for the first out of the inning. So one gone here, and that is going to bring up Kensuke Kondo to the plate. We're keeping our eyes peeled here for substitutions to see if maybe they're going to start moving some people around early, but as of right now, not so much. Right-hander ready to deliver. There's Shaw's breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Kondo. Kondo 0 for 3 tonight. As Bad Bunny is in the stands in this one in Tokyo. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and in. The count goes to 1-1. Bad Bunny, of course, did his performance at the Super Bowl. We're talking about other stars in the crowd. As the 1-1 pitch coming here from Shaw is a breaking ball down. Nice stop there by the catcher, Lynn, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. 10 runs in the second, 3 in the third. Now Samurai Japan out to a 13-0 lead. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes to 3-1. As I mentioned, it was 97 pitches. Junwei Zhang up and throwing now in the Chinese Taipei bullpen. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over to first, fielded by Wu. He's going to win the race to the bag. It's going to be a ground out to 3, and Kondo still looking for his first hit tonight. That might get him a ticket to the bench. Maybe we'll see more Ishida tomorrow, but you never know here. So that brings Seiya Suzuki to the plate. And Suzuki tonight is officially 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also walked. He scored a pair of runs. As the first pitch from Shaw on the way, breaking ball misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Suzuki bends at the knees, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Japanese supporters are in good voice tonight as the 2-0 is on its way. There is a fastball swung on, and it's just tapped foul behind home plate. The count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-1. Again, the right-hander ready to go. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right field, backing up and making an over-the-shoulder catch is going to be the second baseman, Cheng. And that is the first time tonight that Samurai Japan has gone in order. And they've done that, just that here in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. As Shaw retires the side effectively. You're moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score is the Samurai Japan 13 and Chinese Taipei no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple of moments after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the order to come to bat for Chinese Taipei in inning number 4. That would be Yu Cheng, Kung Quan, Gilzheglija, and Ninting Wu, as they will be coming to bat here in their half of inning number 4. Looks like we do have a pitching change as Hiroya Miyagi is coming in. Interesting that the starter of the Oryx Buffaloes will be coming on in relief here to face the Chinese Taipei hitters here in inning number 4. Miyagi, of course, a starter for the Buffaloes, so it kind of makes you wonder who exactly they're going to lean on here. The first pitch fastball misses inside. The count is 1-0 to Yu Cheng. Chang tonight walked in his only appearance, and he was erased in a double play. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. I don't know, but I would say, in my opinion, Miyagi might be the best left-handed pitcher in Japan at the moment. Certainly after Shota Imanaga went to the big leagues, there's a fastball swung on a grounded foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 2-1. I know that there is a couple of pitchers with the Chinichi Dragons who would maybe have something to say about it, but I think that Miyagi has just got the slight edge. He's been around in the league a little bit longer. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-1. Miyagi was the left-handed punch when Yamamoto was the right-handed punch for the Buffaloes a couple of seasons ago when they were going to back-to-back NPB or Japan Series Finals as that fastball swung on and fouled away. It's 3-2 now to Yu Cheng. Lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded over to short. Genda circles it. He fires and throws to first. It's going to be a ground out, 6-3. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Kung Quan Gilzheglija. As I say, I hope I say that right and not insulting anybody. That is a name that is not common in our area here, but he is a big fella. He is very thick in the lower half. Really strong. There's a breaking ball that misses down. In some ways, his lower half, he reminds me of, well, as I say, in some ways, he reminds me of Okamoto. He's actually a little bit bigger. Maybe he's going on towards the lower half of an Alejandro Kirk as he swings at a fastball and fouls that one away. The count is 1-1. Not with the girth of Kirk above the waistline. He is very strong below the waistline. This fella here, as the pitch on the way is a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1-2 it is. And Miyagi is on full display here. He's getting a little bit of giddy up on his fastball. So here comes the offering as the lefty delivers. Fastball just misses inside. He has been mid-90s with his pitches. There's 2-2 here. Lefty Miyagi again, ready to go after it. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball down into dirt. Good stop there by Wakatsuki, and the count is full. Of course, Wakatsuki would know this pitcher very well as he catches him for the Buffaloes. So a battery of Buffaloes here. 3-2 pitch coming to the hitter. And his fastball swung on and fouled away as Gilzheglija fouls it away. And the count remains at 3-2. Chinese Taipei had a walk in the second inning. They have not had a base hit yet. There's a pitch on the way. Fastball misses. It's going to be ball 4. And that is going to put Gilzheglija aboard with a walk. That'll bring up Ninting Wu. So they had a walk in the second inning. They had a pair of walks and reached on an error in the third. And now they've got another walk here in the fourth. So that would be an area of concern. At least if it would be for me if I was Samurai Japan, if you're looking for pockmarks in the way they've played today. Brings Ninting Wu to the plate. As we said, he's with the TSG Hawks as he swings at a breaking ball and misses, and the count is 0-1. Once applied his trade for the Saitama Blue Lions. in the NPB. A pretty serviceable player was Wu. He played first, he played third, he played a little bit of second base for the Lions. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, and it is going to be lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to just slice into the seats, and now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Miyagi gets the new baseball, rubs it up, and he's ready to go back to work again as he holds it to the set position. Here comes the 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball, waved that and missed, and Wu is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the shortstop in Kun Yu Chang. Well, for Chang, he is 0 for 1. He has grounded to short his only time up. 0 for 4 in the tournament thus far, but he's played some decent defense at shortstop. And he swings through at a breaking ball, and the count is quickly 0-1. I tell you, Miyagi, he's challenging the hitters. He is just pouring the pitches inside here to the right-handed hitters. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, waved at and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. I wouldn't bat an eye now that he crawls up the ladder and brings a little bit of heat. Lefty Miyagi works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball down. Nice stop there by the catcher, Wakatsuki. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ten runs in the second, 3 runs in the third is all you need to know. It's 13-0 for Samurai Japan as it is the last half of inning 4, and there's a fastball swung on and pop foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. Count is 1-2. So things you got to think that you want to build on for your ball club if you are Chinese Taipei. Number 1 is swing the bats, foul balls off, get yourself battling, try to extend this game to 7 innings as opposed to just playing through 5. There's a breaking ball down. Count is 2-2. That would show some battle. If they could score a couple of runs, maybe take this game to 7 innings. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and they're going to apply the tag, and Chang is going to be retired. He's out for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for Chinese Taipei in their half of the inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left aboard. Your scores were now through 4 complete. It is a 13-0 ball game for Samurai Japan. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action, and we appreciate everybody for hanging out here with us tonight or on a very early morning in North America on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I really want us to be real with love.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the 5th inning, and slated to come to bat for Samurai Japan. It'll be Masataka Yoshida, Kazuo Komodo, and Munetaka Murakami. We'll be back to bring it to you in just a couple of moments after this extended timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to come to bat Masataka Yoshida, Kaz Okamoto, and Munetaka Murakami in the top half of inning number 5. There is a pitching change as it's going to be Ju-Wei Zhang in the ball game. It will be the 4th pitcher used tonight. So Jun-Wei Zhang on in relief as he is ready to face Yoshida. The first pitch to Yoshida is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Yoshida tonight has reached base every time he's come to the plate. He is 2 for 2, a single and a triple. As there is a fastball swung on, it is lifted into right center field. It's the Bermuda Triangle, but moving over underneath it is the center fielder, Stuart Fairchild, there to make the catch, and Yoshida is gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up Kaz Okamoto to the plate. Well, for Okamoto, he's officially 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and an RBI. He's also walked and scored a run. So he stands in, waiting on the offering. The pitch is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. 13-0. Japan in the lead here, as Okamoto extends the hands and waits on the offering from the right-hander. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander Zhang kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses inside at 95. He's got a little giddy up on his pitch. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander works to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. And the count is now 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike it is. Right-hander Zhang again kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into deep left field. Moving over to his right and making the catch is the left fielder Chen-Wei Chen. That is going to retire Okamoto for the 2nd out of the inning. He hit that ball on the screws, but right to the glove of Chen, and that's going to bring Munetaka Murakami to the plate. Well, for Murakami, he also has reached base every time he's come to bat. He's officially 1 for 2 as he takes a fastball for a called strike. He's got a walk, a single, and he's bounced into a fielder's choice. He also has a stolen base, and he scored 3 runs. So all over the base paths in different ways. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. It is lined foul down the left field line. Count remains at 0-2. Our friend God is Great says Taiwan will definitely lose. Well, I got to tell you, Titus, that statement right there, it's got to be one of the most obvious ones of the night at this point. There's a fastball that misses down. They go over to the third base umpire, but they say Murakami didn't go, and it's now 1-2. The only question is when and by how much? Unless we see the greatest comeback in World Baseball Classic history, that would be the only other thing on the line. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted in deep right field. This ball is going to die at the warning track, and making the catch is Anko Lin, but he makes it exciting as he hauls it in with a basket catch. And Murakami is gone, and that is going to be 7 in a row retired by Chinese Taipei pitching. Where was this back in inning number 1? No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard as they go in order. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. That tells you that we're going to be going at least 6. Your score is Samurai Japan 13 and Chinese Taipei nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action after this timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order slated to come to bat. That means Lao Lin, Chen Wei Chen, and the top of the order, Sung Chae Cheng, as we are going to be resuming the action here. And the first pitch from Hiroya Miyagi is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Lin. Lin tonight reached on an error his only time up, and he was stranded at third base in the third inning. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lin, 0 for 2 in the tournament. He was 0 for 1 last night. Batting from the right side here as he extends his hands, and the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and in. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Chinese Taipei in a very deep hole here. All of these starters for Samurai Japan still pretty much in the ball game. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. The count now goes even to 2-2 on Lin. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty works to the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that comes inside, and it is hit Lin. And he is going to be aboard here for the second time tonight. So he's reached on an error, and now he's been hit by a pitch. We do have a change in the outfield. It is Kondo has moved over to left. Taisi Makihara has gone into center, and Seiya Suzuki has moved over to right. So Makihara, the defensive change. Interesting that Makihara is the center fielder, but yet Yukio Shudo, who's the starting center fielder for the Hawks, is not the number 1 choice to come in defensively. It's his teammate. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Chen Wei Chen. Chen Wei Chen struck out his first time up, 0 for 1 in this one. Breaking ball swung on, and it's lifted foul down the left field line, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 13, 12, and 1 for Samurai Japan, and it's a bunch of goose eggs across the line score for the Chinese Taipei. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, chopped over to short. They go to second for 1, back to first. It's not going to be in time. It'll be a fielder's choice. It'll be 6-4 to erase Lin. He's gone for the first out. Safe at first is Chen. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Sung Chi Cheng. Well, for Cheng, he is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded back to the pitcher to start the ball game, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that is down, and the count is 1-0. He also walked in the third. Batting from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Miyagi. Slightly open stance as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. I don't think the hitter liked that one. I don't think our K-zone liked that one. But not much you can say in that situation. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this K-zone stuff, although I have to say, we'll have to let it play out, because if that is the case, there's a breaking ball that misses down, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It makes the betterment of the game. Certainly the speed of the game, the pitch clock is improved. Koki Kitayama is throwing in the bullpen. And the pitch on the way, fastball that misses outside. Count now goes to 3-2 on Cheng. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to put runners at first and second here. And that's going to bring Stuart Fairchild to the plate. So something to cheer about for Chinese Taipei, as they got runners at first and second with only 1 gone. And Yagi has struggled with the command of his pitches here tonight. He has hit a batter and he's walked 2 in his inning and a third of work. So here comes the pitch to Fairchild. It's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep left field. And if it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. And this one is just going to hook foul. Oh, boy. Fairchild sent that one for a ride and just hooked it foul. The fans for Chinese Taipei were getting all excited. I wonder if they're going to go have a look at this. Let's take a look at it ourselves. Let's see if that ball indeed stayed fair. What happened here? Ball was absolutely spanked. I wonder if they're going to have a peek at this one here. And they certainly are. They're going to go up and have a look. Looked like it might have went over top of the foul pole. The foul pole does not go right up to the top of the Tokyo Dome. Fairchild, he thinks it might be gone. He's going to wait here with everybody else and see if that is the case. I don't know if they've got a good way to measure that. One way you can look at it, depending on the camera angle, you can see when the pole is high enough, it goes all the way up to the ceiling. You can see if the ball goes behind the pole. You'll lose sight of it for that split second. But in that particular case, because the pole is up in the air, we're just going to wait here until they decide, because you've got to make a decision. The best angle would be potentially right down the third baseline. But I don't know if they've got a camera set up there. We haven't seen any angles ourselves yet to indicate something different. But we're going to have to wait. Yeah, that's another thing, too, is the length of time that the challenges take. And it is going to be a foul ball, and it's going to keep the count. And no balls and 1 strike, so a lot of disappointed Taiwanese fans. I have to tell you, from the angle that we saw, it probably was a foul ball. We get a couple of different angles of it there. And as I say, the foul pole, if it was maybe another 10 feet higher, would have given a clearer picture. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball swung on, and it's hammered over to third. They go to second for 1, back to first. It's not going to be in time. Another fielder's choice. It's going to erase Cheng at the bag at second. He goes in the books 5-4 for out number 2. Safe on the trail side is Fairchild. Advancing to third is Chen, and that is going to bring up the right fielder in Anko Lin. So Chinese Taipei looking to score a couple of runs here. Make the score line respectable. As the other thing is, too, is the run difference, or the runs against, could come into play. And as I said, if they're able to win a couple of games at the end, it might make it interesting. So here comes the first offering to Anko Lin. Slow breaking ball, 59 miles an hour, misses outside for ball 1. Well, if you're a Blue Jay fan, you'll like that play by Okamoto to start that fielder's choice. That was a really hard hit ball. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. 1-1 to Lynn. And you would think that Okamoto would know this field really well as he played his home games here for the last decade. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2 on Lynn. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as Miyagi delivers again. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Anko Lin is down on strikes. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for Chinese Taipei in their half of the 5th inning. Well, they threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs in the inning. There was also no hits yet again. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your scores were now through 5 complete. It is Samurai Japan with a 13-0 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with a call at the top of the 6th inning in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you for listening in on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top half of inning number 6, and it's the bottom 3rd in the batting order slated to come to bat. That would be Shugo Maki, Sosuke Genda, and Kenya Wakatsuki. So they are going to be facing a Zhang here in his 2nd inning of work. Don't have any changes yet, as we do believe Maki and Genda and Wakatsuki will be coming to the plate here. Curious to see when they start emptying the bench. Last night, the Czechs were emptying the bench in the last part of the ball game. Give everybody an opportunity to get an at-bat when the game is out of hand, and I'm curious to see if something like that will happen for Chinese Taipei, especially when you get into the bottom of the 7th, if they still have that 10-run deficit. So we're ready to resume the action here as Shugomaki steps to the plate. And again, right off the bat, they're warning the pitcher to make sure that you have eye contact. Xiao Hung Chang is now the new catcher, as Lyle Lin's night is done. And there is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. Count is 1-0. They've got to make sure they got eye contact from the hitter before you engage in the delivery. Here comes the pitch. 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. And I'm actually okay with that. Let the hitter get set. And as soon as he picks up the contact, then we're ready to go. Here's the 2-0. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field, but moving over underneath it. And now moving back and battling the lights is Anko Lin. And he's going to make the catch. Not an easy catch for him. That's one gone here. And by our counts, that is 8 in a row retired now by Chinese Taipei pitching. We saw this in the exhibition play for Samurai Japan, too, that they would score in bunches. Runs would come in piles. Of course, that 10-run 2nd inning was the pile here tonight they needed. Fastball to Genda, swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Genda tonight is 2 for 2. He's got a couple of singles. He's scored a couple of runs, and he's driven in 4. So a big night here for the shortstop of Samurai Japan. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander ready to go again as he kicks and delivers. Fastball bounces up to the plate. The count now goes to 2-1 on Genda. Genda batting from the left side. As we said, he's one of the few players who still has the ability a little bit to run in this lineup. You need a stolen base as the 2-1 pitch is on the way. Fastball miss. Ooh, late call from the home plate umpire as he goes up with the right hand. The count now goes even to 2-2. Genda in his younger years could really fly. Not so much today as the 2-2 is on the way, but he still moves around okay. If that makes sense, as that pitch misses down 3-2. Like, his movements are good, but he just doesn't have the explosive speed that he once had. As I said, really, Yuki Oshida probably the big threat in the lineup for Japan when he is in the lineup. Fastball swung on. This is grounded past the glove of the shortstop through the 6-hole into left field, and Genda's got his 3rd hit of the night. So he is aboard with a base hit single, and that is going to bring up, or it's slated to bring up, the catcher in Kenya Wakatsuki. And we are going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Shota Morishita to come in to pinch hit. So Wakatsuki's night is done. So Shota Morishita on to hit here for Genda. Curious to see all the other games that are in action. They throw over to first base, and Genda gets back easily. We were talking earlier tonight about the schedule that will go off tomorrow. Games in the Classic. Fastball misses outside. Count is 1-0 to Morishita. Morishita, of course, is the Hanshin Tigers right fielder, and then it looks like Teraki Sato is going to be hitting for Ohtani on deck. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. The games later today, if you're on the East Coast, we'll give it to you in East Coast time. At 11 a.m., it's going to be Cuba and Panama. Levon Moinello of the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks goes against Logan Allen for Panama. Netherlands play Venezuela. That could be an interesting game. I'm picking the Netherlands to do damage in this particular, in their group. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. It's now 2-1. It'll be Kelly against Suarez in that one. Mexico plays Great Britain. It'll be Assad against Anderson. Puerto Rico goes against Colombia. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Morishita. Puerto Rico sends Seth Lugo to the hill. It is the ageless one, Jose Quintana, going for Colombia. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, grounded to short. They go to second for 1, back to first, and that's going to be a double play, and that'll end the inning. So it's going to go in the books as a 6-4-3 double play, and that is going to do it here for Samurai Japan in their half of inning number 6. They got no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. We're now moving to the last half of the 6th inning. Your score is Samurai Japan with a 13-0 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Yu Chang, Kung Quan Gilzheglaja, and Ninting Wu slated to come to bat here in inning number 6. We're just waiting to see if we do have a change. It looks like it is going to be Koki Kitayama coming on in relief for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters as he'll replace Hiroya Miyagi. So Kitayama on here. And the first pitch delivered at 96 miles an hour to Yu Chang is taken for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. The Samurai Japan have an arsenal of pitchers who can roll out and throw upper 90s. Kitayama is just another one in that long line. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 1-1 on Chang. New catcher as Seishiro Sakamoto is now in the ball game from the Hanshin Tigers. He is catching Kitayama as the right-hander delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on, and Yu Chang fouls that one away, and the count's 1-2. Chang tonight officially 0 for 1. He is grounded to short. He's also walked in his 2 trips, 1 for 5 in the tournament. He is a Fuban Guardian. Plays in New Taipei City as the right-hander delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-2. Pretty sure it was a fastball because it looked like it may have been a 2-seamer. It was a little bit lower in velocity, but it looked like he had tried to throw a quick pitch. Breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kitayama last year was 3rd in ERA and 6th in strikeouts per 9 innings with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on, is lifted into shallow right field, and that is going to break up the no-hitter as Yu Chang has aboard with a base hit. It only took 5+ innings, but that is the first hit of the ball game for Chinese Taipei, so they've got that monkey off their back as Kitayama has given up the first hit. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Kung Quan Gilzheglaja. I tell you, some of the players in the lineup for Chinese Taipei, of course, Cheng was one and Gilzheglaja the other. They were really thick in the lower half. It was very, very strong legs. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Gilzheglaja has grounded into a double play and has walked in his 2 trips. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. I'd love to have one of our Taiwanese listeners, whether you listen live or on delay, to let us know if we're enunciating the name correctly. Lots of consonants in there. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. or 15 runs through 5, 10 runs through 7 if the pace of this game stays the way it is. As time has been called by the hitter as he steps out. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Bottom of the 6th inning, 13-0 for Japan. Right-hander deals. Fastball swung on and missed. And that is at 96 miles an hour. He blows it right by the designated hitter. He is gone in the books. For the first out of the inning, it'll bring up the first baseman in Ninting Wu. And I mentioned before, I do like Wu. I liked his versatility when he was with the Saitama Cebu Lions. Nice player. Fastball swung on and popped up foul. Count is 0-1. As we mentioned, he's with the TSG Hawks that play in Kaohsiung down in the south. As the right-hander ready to deliver again. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side. They go to second for 1, and that's all they're going to get. It's going to be a fielder's choice. So Yu Chang is going to be erased 4-6. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Wu is safe on the backside on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Kun Yu Chang to the plate. Well, for Chang, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to short and struck out in his 2 trips. Pitch on the way, fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander delivers again. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander ready to deliver, kicks and fires, breaking ball down, just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Koki Kitayama at 15 pitches. There is the rule, as we mentioned the other day, if you go over 30, you will be spent for a day. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's slicing towards the right field line, but it's going to get down just foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It remains to Chang. When this one is over, we'll give you the full rundown as well as the out-of-town score. Obviously, we talked earlier that it was Australia taking care of the team from Czechia 5-1. So the Aussies are sitting in the catbird seat right now. There's a fastball that messes up. They appeal over to first base, but they say that Chang didn't go, and it runs the count to 2-2. You might want to have a look at that one yet again. And we are. That has the right call by the home plate or by the first base umpire. Like in real time, he might have went around. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander works himself to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to second, fielded by Mackey. He fires to first. That's a ground out 4-3, and that is going to do it here for the Chinese Taipei in their half of the 6th. Well, they got their first hit of the ball game. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Moving to the top of the 7th inning, your score is Samurai Japan with a 13-0 lead over Chinese Taipei. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Timeout. Stick around, everybody. Top of the 7th around the corner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to have a pinch hitter here for Shohei Ohtani, and that is going to be Teruaki Sato, the third baseman of the Hanshin Tigers. He's going to get his first appearance here in the Classic. Shohei Ohtani, 3 for 4 tonight. A single, a triple, and a home run of a grand slam variety. He was he was a single, a double, and a home run. He was a triple away from the cycle. So his night is done. He also had a line drive out to first base. So Sato coming in to hit. He'll be followed by Kondo and Suzuki, barring any other changes. And the first pitch here on the way from the reliever Zhang is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So goodbye, Ohtani. Hello, Sato. There's a changeup swung on and missed, and the count now runs even to 1-1. 40 home runs last year for Sato. It led the Central League in those numbers as there's a fastball down, and the count goes to 2-1. The biggest thing for him is to cut down on his strikeouts. He does swing freely. As the 2-1 pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count goes to 3-1. Maybe freely or undisciplined, maybe would be the way I would put it. As the 3-1 pitch is on the way, there's a fastball missing inside. It's going to be ball 4. And Sato is aboard here to start the 7th inning. Interesting that he won the MVP last year in the Central League. I would say that if he is able to, if I had to give a major league comparable, I know the other fella hit right-handed, but I would think a guy like Mark Reynolds comes to mind. Who was, I believe, with the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. That's how I would think of Sato. Pitch on the way, fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Kondo. Kondo's had a rough night at the plate. He has grounded out all 4 times he's been to the dish. He's grounded to first, to second, and then to first 2 more times. So he's looking to get on for the first time. And as they throw over to first base and easily getting back is the runner Sato. We saw the other night where they had the violation where they threw over. There's the other rule that they brought in from Major League Baseball. You could only throw over twice. You throw over the 3rd time, you get nailed with a violation. So I'm not sure what it was. It looks like that Kondo had asked for time and stepped out of the batter's box, so he's going to get charged with a offensive timeout. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded by the second baseman. They go to second for 1, and that's all they're going to get. Chang had fielded it, and it looked like he had some trouble getting it out of the glove. Safe on the trail side is Kondo, but his night is going to be done. He's going to be pinch run for. So it erases Sato on a fielder's choice 4-6. He's out for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring Seiya Suzuki to the plate. We are going to have a pinch runner for Kondo as Yukio Shudo has entered the fray. So Shudo now in the ball game as it brings Seiya Suzuki to the plate. Well, Suzuki tonight is officially 1 for 3. He has singled, he's struck out, and he's popped out. He's also walked and scored a pair of runs. So the speedy Shudo on here to run. I'd like to see the alignment defensively. I bet you that probably spells the end of the night for maybe Shugo Maki. Or maybe they move Maki over to first like they've been doing, and it may spend the end of the night for Murakami. See how they move around defensively, because I would have to think Makihara comes into the infield and Shudo goes into center. There's a fastball swung on, and it's going to be pop foul over on the first base side, and the count is 1-1 to Suzuki. The spot once occupied by Masataki Yoshida is now occupied by Taisi Makihara. He is waiting his turn on deck. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. So the count here is a ball and 2 strikes to Suzuki. As they throw over to first base, and getting back easily is Shudo to the bag. Shudo can run, but I would expect in this situation that he's probably not going to be off to the races. There's a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. I mean, you're up by 13 runs. Be a good way to get a ball in the side of the head. And saying that, the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, popped up over on the right side of the infield, camping out underneath it to make the catch is the second baseman Cheng, and that will retire Suzuki for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the aforementioned Taisi Makihara. And for Makihara, well, he is getting his first at bat here. The batting champion in the Pacific League last year hit .304. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs. For a while, there weren't too many players in the whole NPB that were hitting north of 300. It was even the same the year before. I think it was even worse the year before, where I don't think anybody was going to qualify with batting 300 or better. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Shudo. Pitch on the way. Fastball comes inside. Did it hit Makihara? Or is he able to escape while he's walking around like it didn't hit him? Probably because he wants to hit 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Jimmy Redbeard in the house. We thank you for popping in, Jimmy. Getting ready to go to work, or maybe he is already at work. Joining us in for the stream. Thanks for popping in. Fastball misses upstairs. Count is 3-0. And if you're just here joining us, as we said, the game was ugly early and often. The grand slam off the bat of Shohei Ohtani, back in inning number 2, got the ball rolling for Samurai Japan. There's a fastball that misses way outside. It's going to be ball 4, and Makihara is going to be aboard with a walk, and that's going to put runners to first and second with 2 out. And that is going to bring slated to bring Kaz Okamoto to the plate. There's action in the Japanese bullpen as Ryohei Sotani is up and throwing. As Chinese Taipei manager is up to the mound, and that might be the end of the night for Zhang, as it looks like that we are going to have ourselves a pitching change. And it is going to be Shi Seung Lin coming in. So we have yet another pitcher here for Chinese Taipei. It is going to be their 5th of the night. And the ones that they've been bringing in late have been doing way better than the ones that they had early on. So maybe if they would have had a little bit better start, they might have had a little bit better finish. And that being said, we're going to take a little time out. We'll be back in just a couple moments. It is a scoreline of 13-0. But Japan has runners at first and second with 2 gone and a pitching change forthcoming. And we'll be back in just a few right after this.
Hello, everybody. And you know why we're here? Well, of course you do. You'd be nuts not to be here to watch Freddie call another game. Freddie, the king of kings on baseball commentary. You know what? Come to think of it, with Freddie, there's absolutely nothing hotter than listening to him broadcast. Not even the Reaper Triple X puckered butt squeezing hot sauce. We'll just give it a whirl here. All right, Freddie. Cheers. Holy cow, that may be a close second to you, Freddie. Still the hottest broadcast right now on YouTube. Peace out. Call a great game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the left-hander, and this is going to be Shi Seung Lin, who is coming in, as he will take over here. Actually, he's the right-hander. He bats left-handed. He is not on for his hitting ability. He's on the throw here. It is going to be Kaz Okamoto slated to come to bat as the right-hander is completed his tune-up tosses. Stands at 5'11", 182 pounds. He was a pitcher with the TSG Hawks in the Chinese Professional League. And he was their closer. He had 30 saves last year. He had an ERA of 1.79. It's his first World Baseball Classic appearance. So we are about to find out how he is going to fare here to Okamoto. And the first pitch swung on, and this ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball can be trouble right on the warning track, and Lin is going to make the catch right up against the wall. So with one pitch, he threw the ball, and it went to the deepest part of right field. And that is going to do it as Okamoto just missed a 3-run shot. Well, we had no runs in the inning. We had no hits. There were no errors, but there were 2 runners left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 13-0 for Samurai Japan. Stick around, everybody. We'll give you our rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We'll be back in just a few.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of inning number 7, as it is going to be a pitching change here as Ryuhei Ohtani comes in to replace Koki Kitayama. And we are going to get you some of that other stuff here in just a moment here. So Ohtani on in relief as the lefty is ready to deliver. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses inside. And the count is quickly 1 ball, no strikes. A member of the Oryx Buffaloes, as he is facing the Xiaohong Chang, who's getting his first at bat since coming in for Lyle Lin, and he swings and pops it up over on the right side of the infield, moving over underneath it and making a difficult catch is the catcher Sakamoto, and that is going to do it, as that is going to retire Cheng for the first out of the inning, and that is slated to bring up Chen Wei Chen. So Chen Wei Chen at the plate, batting from the left side here against the lefty Ohtani, who works himself into the set position as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Defensive changes. Yukio Shudo has moved into center field. Makihara has slid over to left. So the Hawks taking up 2/3 of the outfield, with Suzuki moving to right and Kondo coming out. As that pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, it's 1-1 to Chen. Chinese Taipei down to their final outs here as This game will be over if they can't get 3, or if they can't get 4 runs. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-1. Call it the early termination rule. You could call it whatever you want. The mercy rule is probably what it realistically is. Should still be named. Have mercy. There's a fastball missing upstairs. It's now 3-1 to Chen. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Lefty against the lefty as Ohtani delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Ooh. Runs the count full now to the left fielder of Chinese Taipei. Lefty ready to go again. He works himself set, now delivers. Fastball swung on, and it is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. Count remains full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty works to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, and this is going to be lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains still at 3-2. So the battle continues. I'm interested to see a little bit more of Ohtani for the Buffaloes. I've seen him pitch a few times. I'm not a huge fan. There's a fastball swung on, and maybe it's just the games that I've caught. That's lifted into left field. Taisi Makihara moving over toward the foul line, and he's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Chen for the second out of the inning, and now the Chinese Taipei are down to their final out. Coming to the plate, it is Sung-Chi Cheng. He's been on base twice tonight. He's walked 2 times. He's grounded out, so officially 0 for 2 in the tournament. As the lefty ready to deliver, he holds to the set. Ohtani pitching. The first pitch is a fastball swung on, and it's chopped foul behind home plate. The count is 0-1. So no balls and a strike. As we mentioned before, when this one's over, we'll wrap it all up for you. Give you the recap and the rundown of the game between Australia and the Czech Republic. As there's a breaking ball missing upstairs, the count runs even to 1-1. And then we'll get set up for the showdown tomorrow night, Japan and Korea. Hopefully you guys can make it in. Same time, same channel. Pitch on the way, breaking ball, taken for a called strike. Oh, that's only strike 2, and the home plate umpire was pulling the chain on that one. I think he lost count. Not going to be happy with himself. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And there's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 2-2. I guess when it gets to 13-0, sometimes you lose track of things, and home plate umpire definitely lost track of the count. Sure, he'll hear about it from the rest of his crew later tonight. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is missed, and the count now is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty ready to go again. And here's the offering. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and Ohtani blows it by Cheng, and that is going to do it here in the 7th inning, and that will be the end of the ball game here in this one. A mercy rule inflicted on Chinese Taipei. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your final score is Samurai Japan with a 13-0 victory. Stay with us, everybody. We are going to come back and wrap it up for you, and then we'll call it a night. But we appreciate you for hanging out with us under the circumstances. 13-0 your final score. We'll be right back in just a few.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Back, everybody. We're going to give you the roundup on this one here, as your final score was Samurai Japan 13-0 over the ball club from Chinese Taipei. What do you need to know in this one? Well, it was a 10-run inning in the second and 3 more in the third. It did all the damage for Japan in this one. Big blow in the second inning. Well, it was the grand slam off the bat of Shohei Ohtani that got the party started. And that would have been the biggest blow. The other runs tonight, we had 4 RBIs credited to Sosuke Genda. He had a 2-run single in the second and a 2-run single in the third. So that is what did the damage for him tonight. As far as the line score is concerned, 13 runs, 13 hits, and an error for Japan. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Chinese Taipei. So they have only had 4 hits in their first 2 games. Again, your final score, 13-0 for Japan. Go take a quick peek at the other game that took place tonight. It was Austria over the Czech Republic, 5-1 in that one. Hendrickson got the win. He's 1-0. Andra took the loss. He's 0-1. 5-9-1 for Australia. 1-4-0 for Czechia. The hitting star in this one tonight for the Australians was Curtis Mead, as he was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Hall had a couple of hits. Dale had a couple of hits. Burke had a couple of hits. And the other one was Robbie Perkins had a hit and drove in another run for the Aussies in that one. For the Czechs tonight, they only had 4 hits after coming out of the 8-hit performance against Korea. So their bats were kept in check, and their only run was driven in by Mensik, the second baseman, as he knocked home Cervenka in the second inning, which did get the scoring going. Now, we will be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night. Same thing. It'll be 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern if you are on the East Coast in North America. Hopefully you guys can come on in and join us for that one. We appreciate you for hanging out here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel, whether you listen live or on delay. We look forward to having you back again tomorrow. Again, your final score, Japan 13 and Chinese Taipei no score. Have a great night, everybody, or a good day wherever you're at in the world.